Hello folks, Chaotic Demon here, and welcome to my second test video for Kerbal Space Program. Today we're going to launch my Orbital Shuttle and dock it with the space station. So the first thing we need to do here is check this tracking station. And the station's actually just past us, so I'm going to go ahead and time warp. I'm going to bring it all the way around the planet and back over to about the western edge of the continent. Right about there. What that should do is get it just ahead of us when we achieve orbit and make the rendezvous really easy. Alright, SAS is on, full throttle, and here we go. Now at about 1 kilometer altitude, I'm going to go ahead and do a roll to the right, get us ready to head on a 90-degree heading. Here we go. Nice and slow, don't want to pull us off course. Right where we want to be. So now we're just going to wait until these boosters have run out, and as soon as we drop the boosters, then we're going to pitch down to about a 10-degree incline. Once again, on a 90-degree heading, we want to be heading in a prograde orbit. That way we'll come up right behind the station. 400 meters a second now, 12K altitude. Alright, boosters are away. RCS on to help stabilize us. And we're just going to pitch down here. There we go, 90-degree heading, about a 10-degree incline. Thrusters running at full with about a quarter of the fuel left. 30K altitude now. 800 meters a second. Station's out ahead of us, just where we want it. And so now we're just going to let this fuel tank burn out, and this fuel tank's going to take us almost to orbit. We'll have probably about an 83K apoapse when that tank runs dry. And then we'll finish it on the orbiter's actual thrusters. The orbiter itself, as you can see, has got 4 of the atomic engines. Decent amount of fuel and RCS to it. And there we go, main tank's away. Now we're just running on the orbiter's engines. Going to bank down a little bit more there, and we're going to push that apoapse up to about 95K. And there we go. Now we can time warp up to 4 ticks here until we hit an altitude of 70K. There we go. Now we can speed it up a little more. And I'm going to stop the time warp at about 30 seconds out. Reposition the ship here. Get ready to round out our orbit, and I want it in a 95K circular orbit the best I can. So probably at about -8 seconds I'm going to go ahead and fire the thrusters, because I don't want to push that apoapse up any more than what it's at. There we go, thrusters up. orbit's almost formed. Should be getting our periaps any second here. Apoaps is still 95.3, starting to slowly gain now. There's our periaps. Excuse me. Okay, so a little bit of an overshoot there. That's alright, so 100K, 92. Normally I would round it out, but we should be alright. We're going to set the station as our target. .6 3K, nice. It's very good, I like that. So we're going to move down here, point at the target marker. Got an 8-second burn, so I'm going to start that at about -5. Doing a little time warp here. Be very careful if you're doing time warp, especially this close to a maneuver node, because you will bypass instantly if you're not careful. Thrusters up. And you see the red X on our delta V meter there? That means we're not quite there. So I'm going to point at the target. There we go. Tap the thruster one more time. Now we get the green check mark. That means we've hit the trajectory that we were shooting for. So we're going to clear that out. Nice. Still saying a 3K intercept distance. So now we'll time warp around here. Looks like we're going to go on the outside of the station just a hair. Once again, be very careful if you're using time warp while doing any of these, because even the slightest, just a couple of seconds too long and you'll go flying past your target. So the maneuver node and the intercept says that about 3 kilometers, and we're at 4.5 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and point the other way here. Get ready to slow myself down to a stop. And about 3.3, there we go. We're going to fire up and bring ourselves down to what we're moving the same speed as the station. Good enough. 3.2 distance. So we're going to roll around here now where we're pointing at the station. Fire up a little on our thrusters. And we're still 3K away, so I'm going to get my speed up to about 20 meters a second. There we go. That should get us pretty close. Now I do time warp here also. Apologize for the lag spike there. For some reason I always get one at about 2.2 kilometers out from an object. Not sure why. If anyone knows, I would love to hear why, because it doesn't really lag any other time. Less than 500 meters, we're going to bleed off our speed here. Coming in a little quicker than I normally like, but that's alright. We are fine. There we go. So now at this point, we're so close, I'm just going to shut the main thrusters off. Definitely do not want to ram into the station. I've done that before. The last time I killed 13 Kerbals when I hit the station. So always be very careful when you're approaching. Now we're going to click on docking mode down here and fire up our RCS thrusters to fine tune our trajectory for our final approach. Speed speed up here. Going to come in at about 1 meter a second. Close this final couple of 100 meters. Now I do time warp here. I've flown this particular flight a few hundred times. I really don't recommend time warping, especially this close when you're docking, because once again, just, you know, being just a second too late on stopping that time warp and you'll fly right past the object, or you'll slam into it and kill everyone. So don't do time warp in your rendezvous and docking unless you've had a lot of practice. Okay, 1.3, we're going to slow down a little bit here. Still want to be approaching at just 1 meter a second. Okay, we're less than 100 meters away. So now at this point we're coming in pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and bleed some of my speed off. Bring down to about a half a meter a second. And my docking point I want to connect with is underneath that space plane on the back of the station. So I actually need to just kind of fly manually here for a minute. And as you can see, I've got my space station here. Got two of my Aero A1 space planes currently docked with it. And those are on the extended docking arms. What we're going to aim for here is the solid docking port, which is at the bottom of the habitat module. This station currently holds a total crew of 8 Kerbals. Okay, start bleeding some speed here. Want to start moving down now, not necessarily as much forward. And right there's where we're looking to go. Okay, so bring ourselves almost to a stop here. Actually went way too far past our target. Go ahead and orientate ourselves a little better with the station. Trying to set the docking port I want as my target, and we're not going to work for some reason. Alright. Well, that's alright. I've done this enough. I can do it manually. Open up the docking port on the front of the ship here and get ourselves into alignment. I don't understand why that's not working. Might be lagging a little bit since I'm recording. It's hard to say. I don't know. It could be when I'm already on. It might be the case, actually. Kind of looks like it. Alright, so very slow at this point. In my last video, a couple of people asked to see the station a little better, so I'll give you a quick tour here in a second as soon as we get docked up. So, especially when you're doing this, you want to go very slowly. Take a look at every angle and make sure that you've got every angle correct. Do not want to hit the station. Need to come down. Straighten up a little more here. And there we go, good clean dock. So now Jeb, Bill, and Bob have arrived at the station. So let's go in a little bit here and kind of show you around for a minute. So obviously this is the shuttle we just docked, and by the way, when we docked that, we still had about 90%, 95% of our fuel left. So a couple of little mistakes on my orbits there, but overall very good flight. Now we're connected to the small docking port at the bottom of the habitat module. You can see we got a nice big RCS tank, some lights, some rungs on the outside in case we need to get out and work, and plenty of battery packs to power the station. At the crew hatch right now we have a full crew, 4 out of 4, 2 big liquid fuel tanks. We have 10 of these small RCS tanks, 1 on each side, and then we've got, I believe, a total of 20 of these little xenon tanks. Now I built this station very early on in the game. I started playing when it first released on Steam, and thought I was going to need xenon. Really have not used that. Now up on the top half we have the science module of the station. We have communications, plenty of antennas. We've got some science equipment on the outside of the dome here. Another big RCS tank, of course 4 solar panels to charge the batteries, and our operations crew module, which has got another 4. And then we've got the 2 docking arms, and like I said, on the docking arms we have 2 of the Aero A1 space planes. Those are fueled up, ready to go at any time, so we can EVA crew down, jump in, and return those to the runway. And that's really about it. Very simple station. Been a great station for me. Does refueling. It's also a jump pad for a lot of my missions. Number of ships and landers have launched from here to head to the moon in Minmus, and hopefully this station here soon will be aiding me in my first missions to Eve and Duna. Once again, this is my second test video. If you've not had a chance to watch my first one, which is one of the Aero A1 flights, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd take a look at it for me. This one was shot at a 10,000 bit rate at 60 frames a second versus a 5,000 bit rate on the first one. This is the first one with audio track as well, audio commentary. So thank you very much for watching. Definitely look forward to everyone's feedback. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channels. I do have more videos and live streams on Twitch that are going to be coming up in the near future. Once again, thanks for watching and have a great day.